Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to do a reading on Cillian Murphy. It was a suggestion of my daughter, and hopefully my chihuahua comes alive when I start talking. So we'll see how this goes. Okay. I feel like he's really connected to the earth energy. It feels kind of like a white mist or something like that, coming from the earth. That's his sort of how he shows up. I feel like he has a really strong barrier between his energy and the rest of the world. The rest of the world seems like we're still talking about different elements like mist and whatever, rock. Other people feel like a rocky, not a high cliff, but just like a rocky ledge, And so there's this understanding that or of his own understanding that he feels different than other people, or there's this need to not protect himself, but distinguish his own energy from other people's. How some people just go through life kind of blindly tripping over themselves and getting into situations they later regret and stuff like that. It's I feel like he's very conscious about maintaining his energy space and allowing this sort of sense of freedom, but it's not expansive. It's within himself and his immediate environment, and he doesn't try to take over the world with his energy. And he lets people be, and if they're going through something, he's not going to interfere, but he's going to do his best to maintain this beautiful, lively, inspired energy that's very grounded in the earth. I feel like in his relationship or marriage, he also allows for, it's you've got your energy, I've got mine. They're in a relationship, but there's they're very distinct. How some people are really codependent and they're like, I'm nothing without you. It's not like that. They're each I guess interdependent. They're their own selves, and they're choosing to be next to each other. And that can feel maybe sometimes lonely for his wife, because he is sort of not an island unto himself, but it's that thing of this is my energy and we're not gonna cross over our energies, kind of thing. So it can, someone who might have even a trace of codependency, that would cause pain, but someone who's released the need to merge or whatever, merge energies or merge purposes, would feel that pain of not succeeding and being an amoeba, with them. So I feel like she has a trace of that just she copes with, or something, that maybe a large latte or a in the morning can kind of just soothe her. She has her ways of in the dishwasher. It's she has her little comforts. Let's say, sorry about the dog barking. that can just kind of like make it all better. Okay. I don't know if he has kids, but I feel like there's like relatives that could be younger around him that he has a bit of difficulty. His communication style is a bit like, I'm not gonna say awkward, but like stilted or like reserved, maybe more than some people would want. And like, let's say it's kids or whatever, like, yeah, they tend to really want to interact, like, and use their parents as almost like an extension of themselves. Like you're riding on the shoulders of your parents. You're almost like one person, and then eventually you become independent. But I feel like he's sort of requiring people to be independent before they're ready, and that causes like some like alarm or like they don't know what to do. Like it's like a problem without a solution or something with these younger people in his close circle. I haven't done a lot of research on him, obviously, so I can't like. It's just I'm just gonna tell you what the energies are that I feel. I feel like he thinks like let's say people consider him a good actor. I feel like he knows he can do even better than what he's doing, but it's like the project will be what dictates his the degree of how good his performance will be. So people need to like make their best work of characters who can really go deep and present them to him, and like then you'll really see some cool stuff. I feel like you could make like 3 movies more that are just like exceptional. And one might be kind of like scary. Like I have this like aversion to like looking at one of them because I personally don't like horror films that much. Like thrillers are okay, but like actually horror ones, like not so much. So I feel like one is like kind of like that. One, maybe he would play like a dictator or something. And then another one, like a family man that like it's just very complex character. Okay. Like obviously could be others, but I feel like these 3 in the future would be like wow. Okay. And he might have the director that gives him liberties to, I guess, improvise or like contribute to. I don't know about improvise because like I feel like he's really into preparation, so he would be allowed to almost do 50% of like rewriting with one of the directors, the one that's like the horror film. And then I can see him getting into directing later on once he's sort of like, okay, I did what I wanted to do. I reached my artistic goal with acting, and he's not like greedy in that sense that he needs to be in absolutely every project like some actors. Like I would say like Tom Hanks is in like went beyond his abilities in wanting to be in like a lot of stuff, specifically the Elvis movie. I don't know what that was about. Okay, anyway, okay, killing. feel like he's like highly analytical / critical person, and I mean that makes him a good observer of humans and behavior, which makes him a good actor, so it's not like a bad thing. You know, it's like Oscar Wilde, very observant, you know, talked about things with a humorous perspective, but still was like eagle eye. Like, so I kind of feel like he has that, you know, very exacting observational critique about people. So he might not be like the world's greatest like dinner guest or something, you know. He's not like going out of their way to make everyone feel comfortable and heard and whatever. That's not his job. Like, that's not why he came here. And other people do that just fine. So it's like, you know, just relax. Like, so it's okay. I hope you like dog barking, because there's a lot of that in this video. All right. I feel like if a director complains about him, it's because they're not that great or not that smart. Like, they just, you know, I mean, you can tell from a lot of stuff that comes through Hollywood or in films in general, like the bar isn't set super high. So it's like a teacher, it's like a grammar teacher who like makes you learn grammar once and for all. And it's not a fun process, you know, but then you're like glad you know it, or, you know. So he has more experience than some of the people who are in charge of him and on the job, and it can create some tension if someone has an ego that's very fragile. But it's work. It's like, we're here to do work. I'm not here to pat your back and go like, oh my god, so good, like, good job, like, oh, you wrote something. Like, it's not like that. Like, he, like, you know, like, let's step up to the plate and knock it out of the park. And if you're not good for the team, like, I'm gonna let you know. He's not here to play nice. He's here to do good work and be like a man, you know. Like, a lot of people these days delay maturity. Could be cultural thing too, like Americans, like, and to generalize, I know there's like everyone is unique. So, but let's see, there's a cultural acceptance of immaturity in the United States that isn't maybe tolerated in other countries. And like, he's Irish, right? So there might be a higher standards for maturity there. I've only been for like 24 hours in Dublin one time. It's really nice. Like, I was playing drums for a show there, and it was fun. The crowd was like the nicest crowd we had in our whole tour, like through the UK and Europe. So that was like nice. It made me want to go back, but it's like, you know, gotta eventually. All right, so I feel like there's some conflict within his family, like, the where should we live? Where should our house be? Like, somebody likes the ocean, somebody likes the hills. Like, it's that whole like bare floors or broadloom kind of, like, you know, living with somebody. Like, how do you want your day-to-day life to be? I feel like maybe if he starts like a theater workshop place like up in the hills, that would be a good excuse to spend time in the hills more, because it's like work related, but it would also give back to the community in some way, or even if there's just 6 students, like it's still giving back, right? Or it could just be like his studio where he brings in different local actors to help him rehearse or something like that, but it's like a sort of a hilltop, not on the ocean coast kind of place. That, if I'm gonna guess where it is, like GPS or whatever, in the southern third of Ireland, like kind of in the middle of, yeah, so not right at the south, like where the third line, if you were to around there. I don't know where everything is there. Okay. I feel like he has like long-term beef with someone a bit south of where I'm talking about, where this workshop could be. Could be like a relative, like a old workmate, or like it's someone he knows super well. It feels like a man, a kind of like maybe burly man who's like 62 or between around there, 65, 62. And there's another character who's like in their circle that is like, I don't know if it's their yes man or just like also a bit problematic. I don't, obviously you might have family over there, so like there might be 2 people, especially one that there's some beef with. I'm just gonna look at that. I feel like it's just someone who has like poor communication style and maybe like uses offensive language or like anger. It just is like, bah, like just sort of feels like black tar coming out of their mouth and downward. So, and Cillian's like doing what he can to kind of protect his personal space to be as good as he can be as a human being, just to, get through the day and everything. So you can like be standing in the same room with someone that you don't vibe with and not have a conflict, but also be very conscious to like not let your vibes overlap again. Like he is who he is and I am who I am, and it takes a certain amount of personal strength to differentiate yourself from other people you know well, and when you're in the same space as them, sort of like a form of meditation, almost like allowing the words or actions of somebody to not infiltrate you, just like let them be in kind of a peaceful way. Like they're expressing themselves in the way that they know best at that time, and that might not be something you want to engage with. So sort of feel it's like avoiding conflict. And not like avoiding it in the sense that I'm not going to be in the same room as you, but like being very clear about like who you are again and like who he is and stuff. He might like how like there's like natural hot springs or little volcanoes or whatever. I think like he likes those places where like the heart of the earth like comes out and makes and let's say the weather's cold, but there's this beautiful warm pool to swim in, or like, and you can see the steam. It's again like that steam rising from the earth thing that I find he really relates to. I don't know his like astrological sign. Does he like the earth? Is he earth sign? I don't know, but something about that. I feel like he, if you're hired for someone else's project, it's not like your project, but you're gonna do your best doing that project. So I feel like he's not like so much like I love the movie as much as like I liked my performance. Like I did what I could given the circumstances, and maybe that's why later on he might direct, because it's like you can only get so much satisfaction out of being in someone else's project, maybe. It's like Orson Welles acted and directed in his own stuff, so maybe he'll get around to that kind of vibe. And maybe he'll make some stuff that's really funny, because maybe he hasn't done something like that reflects like there doesn't need to be violence in it. I mean, like I know he's probably done funny stuff before, but that was like had some violent aspect to it, but like something that's just not scary, but that's like very authentic and funny. Like I think he might like making something like directing something like that himself. Hey, Dr. Disco. I'll try to wrap it up. Just 1 second. Dr. Disco, hey, hi, you want to come here? No? Okay. All right, I'll just try to wrap it up. I feel like the people have a lot of expectations of him, like in New York City, especially to be like really social. And he's not really. It's too much. There's too many people that want to see him. Look, honey. I just need to throw like a cheeseburger over there, but I don't have one right now. Yeah, so like acting is acting. It's not like, oh, I'm an actor / socialite. Like don't expect too much from people when they've given a lot in their performance and stuff. Like, isn't that enough? Like, do you have to be dragged out on a press tour, or like shake hands with, or have dinner with, or go to the birthday party and wedding of all these other people that just want to have a photo with you or have a story about time they spent with you? So I just feel like it's, like let's say you're an introvert and like, people joke about this online and stuff, like you need time to recover after spending time with people. And I mean, for someone famous, it would be even worse, like even more pressure. So maybe if people could be more understanding and like not need him to personally show up for stuff and still be nice to him, for us, that'd be nice. Like like, you know how like Oprah interviews can be like she asks the kind of questions that are like really kind of frenemy or like gaslighting, like, so why'd you do this? Or it's like you wouldn't let a person ask you those questions or treat you like that in a real interaction. If you like remove the idea of like it being a show and you just think like, would I let someone talk to me? Probably not. Right. So I think the media has a lot to learn about like how to treat human beings, and like just if they did something good, like let it be. Like see you next project, like, and you don't need to hash out like every last like, why are you shy, like, or you know, like, like stop. Like maybe, you know, people have hopefully better things to do with their time than like nitpick everyone. Dr. Disco, that's a lot of talking. Okay. Shh. Okay, good boy, good boy. Yeah. Okay. Just another minute. Okay, I'll try to wrap it up. I just feel like this like huge ginormous like bouquet of flowers or something, like it's interesting. Maybe it's about having praise heaped on him. Let's say he did a good job with Oppenheimer or whatever else he's been in lately. Heaps of praise. I feel like are in the form of these flowers are like sort of coming towards him, and he might also just feel a sense of personal joy too that is like happening at the same time, not necessarily because of it. Like you could say that his good performance is connected with him feeling joyful and open and expressive, and that is satisfying enough. And then on top of which he's getting praise from others. And it feels like a showering, a dense showering of flowers. But still, there's this after that cycle of praise happens, like some people in his life might not be able to regulate their highs and lows as well as he can, and they might want like still to be in that environment of like everyone high-fiving them and like whatever. But like when it's just brought down to you, back to you and your home life, like, you know, and you're not at like Nobu eating for free or whatever. Like, I don't know if it's his wife or like just people around him, or like it's just like can display their inability to even their energy through the waves of the ups and the lulls and stuff, like the quiet moments and the exciting moments. But I feel like Cillian's found a way to like, it's like you're sailing like a laser. That's the only boat I've ever sailed by myself, so it's like maybe there's other boats that are more seaworthy, but I'm used to lakes anyway. So like let's imagine like he's on a laser and he's just like decided his course, and it's gonna get choppy. There might be times when the sail is flapping, but like he knows where he's going. So you could argue, Dr. Disco, hey, you could argue some people would benefit from like long distance running or sailing and stuff just to get used to dealing with natural conflict or whatever. All right, so I guess I'm gonna wrap it up there. And it was interesting looking at his energy. I hope you enjoyed it. If you subscribe, you're doing me a huge favor. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers because that's when they monetize the channel and it becomes like a job. So that would be fun. So if you subscribe or like the video, that helps a lot. So take care. Thanks for tuning in. See you later.